Hello lovers, welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast hosted by myself, Lauren Amy. This is for those who are ready to take up space, who are living a soft life loudly and are ready to savor the sweetness in each moment. Here we're going to embrace transformation, the beauty of the in-between and the magic of becoming. So pull up a seat and listen in because life is delicious and it's about goddamn time we eat it up. Hello, my lovers. How are you all doing? My goodness, I'm not gonna lie, I'm on a bit of a roll right now. I think this is the third podcast I'm recording today. I just discovered I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot in this brain of mine and it's just all spewing out of me right now. I don't know how I'm going to release these episodes. I think I might have to release a bonus app. Maybe this is the bonus app, or perhaps I drip feed it across a few weeks. I don't know. But this is exciting. This is what happens when I don't talk to anyone for however long. My brain just goes haywire and I've just decided to brain dump it all, to word vomit all on this podcast. But that's okay. I'm hopeful that future me is going to be very thankful of it, knowing that there's content continuously streaming out. There's goodness continuously coming your way. I'm not leaving you guys hanging, which throughout May, which I know is going to be a bit of a busy one. So here we go. So I've come on this episode like a rocket, haven't I? How are we all? I hope everyone's good. I hope we have taken the time to do a little check-in. And what I basically wanted to discuss today is this trend that has been going around on Instagram for a little bit of time. And it's the butterfly effect trend. Obviously, having a podcast called The Butterfly Effect, it would be weird of me to not comment on it, to not participate on it. But this trend, when I started to see it appear, threw me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So if you haven't seen it, the butterfly effect trend is basically people sharing moments that have happened in their lives that has created this huge ripple effect. And usually the outcome of that ripple effect is them meeting their person, is them meeting their forever person. And I've loved this trend because I'm loving hearing people's different stories and, you know, actually listening to a lot of them. If you go on TikTok as well, a lot of them go into a bit more depth. They share the story. A lot of them actually have given me a lot of hope. But when I first started seeing this trend, I won't lie, it had somewhat of a negative effect on me because, again, a lot of them are talking about, what do you mean? If this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have met him, or if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have met her, and we wouldn't have gone on to create this gorgeous family and do all these amazing things. And I'm just like, that's not my story yet. You know, that's not my experience. But I have had pivotal moments that have changed the course of my life. So it's been a bit of a weird one. And then there's also people commenting saying people have got the butterfly effect wrong. They're confusing it with the domino effect. So I thought it'd be interesting actually, because I did panic a little bit and think oh God, is this podcast named wrong? But I thought wouldn't be interesting to look at the butterfly effect versus the domino effect. So let's have a little chat with ChatGPT, shall we? If I put in, what's the difference between the butterfly effect and the domino effect, and see what good old ChatGPT has to say. Okay, they sound similar, but they're actually pretty different. The butterfly effect comes from chaos theory. Ooh, okay, interesting. The butterfly effect comes from chaos theory. It's about how small changes in a system can lead to huge, unpredictable outcomes over time. Think a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil and weeks later there's a tornado in Texas. It's not linear. It's about sensitive systems where tiny differences get massively amplified. The domino effect is much more predictable and linear. It's when one action directly causes a chain of related events, one after the other, like dominoes falling. If you push the first one, you can pretty much map out what happens next. In short, the butterfly effect is unpredictable, tiny causes that lead to huge consequences over time. The domino effect is predictable and a direct chain reaction. Okay, actually reading that has actually reassured me quite a bit that the butterfly effect is... The podcast has been given the correct name because I did panic. I was just like, oh no, have I named this wrong? Is this concept completely wrong and incorrect? Trash? No, actually, this makes a lot of sense. And actually, this answer reflects a lot of the thoughts and feelings that have come out as a result of me journaling about this as well. So over a few weeks ago now, or actually it depends on whenever this episode comes out, but I have written a little love note on Patreon asking people what is their butterfly effect and sharing my response to this trend. It's asking people, what is the moment that changed everything? Okay. It's that seemingly insignificant moment that has a significant shift in your timeline. But again, a lot of these significant shifts has related to people finding love. And that's where I feel like, again, I can't really resonate with this yet because I've not found my person. I've not found that love. So for a time, it did make me feel, oh God, this is a trend that I can't participate in, even though I have a podcast called The Butterfly Effect, because I'm not in love. I'm not in that romantic relationship. And it bummed me out a little bit, to be quite honest. I think the reason I wanted to bring it to the podcast is because the butterfly effect is way more than finding your person. It's way more than finding that romantic relationship. The butterfly effect for me is finding yourself. And actually that description that I just read from ChatGPT is the epitome of it, because the butterfly effect, and it's the epitome of this podcast, why this podcast exists, because I am all for celebrating the beauty in becoming. Again, it's these small, quiet shifts that so often go unnoticed, but have the greatest impact later down the line. And you have no idea when this moment is going to come to fruition. You have no idea how it's going to all unfold, but you have this trust that these small shifts that you are making, the journey that you are on right now, is carrying you further on that path. So the butterfly effect, it isn't a moment, it's a series of moments. It's a series of small but mighty moments. It's this slow burn. It's this slow figuring out, this slow learning. And sometimes that slowness can be frustrating as fuck, but you got to trust in it. You got to trust in that slowness. It's the times where you show up for yourself regardless. It's the mistakes you make. It's the moments you cry out everything you feel like you have left in you. It's the many people that you become along the way. It's the many different versions of yourself that you find along the way. So I suppose what I'm inviting this episode to be about is to actually just notice these small shifts that you are making, the small steps that you are taking. And if, like me, you perhaps haven't found that person yet, that love yet, you have still been growing your wings the entire time, and each step you are making is taking you further towards that. And maybe it's not a love that you're after. Maybe it's not that person that you're trying to find. Maybe it's a version of yourself that you are trying to connect with. And again, you're doing it right now. So whilst the moment might not have happened, it's because you're in it right now. The butterfly effect is a process, right? So again, perhaps if like me, you've been feeling a little bit left out of this trend, I suppose I just want to say, I see you. I'm right there too. I don't think the butterfly effect is all about finding someone else. I think it's about finding yourself. And it's when you find yourself that maybe another person sees it too. Maybe. We never know. Maybe we take it as a moment to just see those small steps that you have taken, journal on them if you will, and trust in these small steps as well. Because whilst you trust in these steps as well, because whilst you might not know exactly where they are headed, whilst you might not know exactly where they are taking you, the universe knows. You might not know where these wings are carrying you, but the wings know. It's like this undeniable timeline, and we're just riding the waves as best as we can. We're constantly learning. We're constantly evolving all the time. No one has any idea how life is going to pan out. But it's this trust in these steps, it's this trust in these wings that they are going to bring you what it is you deserve, what it is that you are worthy of, and all the things that you are wishing so hard for. You just got to trust in that divine timing. Again, it's not always about the big moments of achievement. And whilst, yes, I'm all for celebrating the big moments, but you got to celebrate those small, quiet moments too, because they are all part of that process. They are all part of this journey, your journey. And again, I know I hate the word journey, but it's this process of becoming. That is the butterfly effect. So I would love for you to take a few moments and again, journal on what is your butterfly effect. What are the small steps that have created tiny shifts here and there? And perhaps some will be bigger than others. It could be anything. It could be the big moments, again, like breakups, heartbreak, but it could also be how you decide to start each day. The fact you decided to, I don't know, wake up one morning and go for a walk first thing instead of sitting down at your desk straight away. I think the butterfly effect just emphasizes how, again, we have no idea how things will pan out. We just got to trust that everything is unfolding exactly in the way it's meant to. And yes, there'll be moments that we didn't expect. Yes, there'll be moments that we didn't anticipate, but everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. And if you don't know exactly what your butterfly effect is right now, it's because you are in it. You are becoming, you are transforming, you are evolving. You are in this phase of metamorphosis. And that is beautiful. That is so stunning. And everything has rises and falls, right? There'll be some moments where you feel like you have blossomed into this butterfly. But then there'll be moments where you feel like you are that caterpillar that's just sludging their way through life, okay? It's this rebirth time and time again. So whilst, yes, I feel like this trend I couldn't originally participate in, I feel like it has only emphasized why this podcast exists even more, why it is that I do what I do even more. So again, journal on what is your butterfly effect, those small moments where, again, we don't necessarily know what the outcome is, but maybe you felt like that little shift here and there, just in how you feel, how you acted, how you show up. What stage do you think you're at? Do you think you're at that caterpillar stage? Do you think you're in the cocoon? Or do you think you're a butterfly? Do you think you're somewhere in between? And again, it's not this linear process, right? I know it goes from caterpillar, cocoon to butterfly, and then that's it, right? But I think that process repeats over and over again. We start off with this caterpillar, we have moments where we go into this cocoon where we're perhaps a bit insular, we're perhaps being really introspective, maybe we're doing a lot of self-work, self-development, and then there'll be moments where that butterfly blossoms and flutters around. But there'll be moments where we feel like we go back to that caterpillar. And again, we go back into the cocoon phase, but we blossom again. And maybe this butterfly is even brighter, even bolder, even bigger. Imagine the wings you grow time and time again. You continuously go through this rebirth. And how amazing is that? How amazing that you get to become so many different versions of yourself all the time. How amazing is it that you get to continuously learn, continuously evolve? We don't always see that. We don't always appreciate that. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to put out there into the ether today. And I hope, again, this lands with you. Where are you on your journey? Are you that caterpillar? Are you in that chrysalis where it's got that perhaps hard exterior and maybe you're, again, really protecting your energy, protecting your peace? Or are you that butterfly? Where are you at right now? Take a moment to notice. And then just honor, accept wherever you're at, because again, it's all part of that process. And even once you are that butterfly, we go back to being the caterpillar, we go back to being that chrysalis, we will become that butterfly again. It's that, I think if there's anything you can count on, is that cycle, that repetition, that rise and fall, those peaks, those troughs, those highs, those lows. And along the way, celebrate all the many versions of yourself that you are becoming, because it's all shaping your experience. It's all shaping you. All right, I think we're going to leave that as a short and sweet little episode. Have a gorgeous rest of your day. Go thrive. Life is delicious. Go eat it up. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah.